ever-living one. Paul Bogle went upon the cross, martyr himself for I and I. Can't take it forward, take it forward.
Bogle, Constantine Bogle. We're here marching because of his great-great-grandfather and what he did 154 years ago. How do you feel, Mr. Bogle?
Great.
To see what you have conceptualized 21 years ago. Today, the world has come out to honor your vision and the vision that you saw with your great-great-grandfather and the over 500 million Africans who died as a result of slavery. What are your thoughts today?
Good job, be the glory. Great things he has done.
Sure.
Give thanks to the Father that I have chosen as a vessel to carry forth this message at this time. And so many people around the world can see the light and participating in this event. So we give thanks. We give thanks to God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Yeah, the creator of the universe.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard from Constantine Bogle, the great-great-grandson of Paul Bogle, and how he feels about conceptualizing an idea and make an idea into a dream and make a dream into a reality. We all can be somebody. We all can play a part. We all can do our little part. I'm doing my little part. Patrick Roman is doing his little part. Because we believe that one day, Africa will be free. life, not the death. We're here to celebrate the life of the Right Honorable Paul Bogle, freedom fighter, Rastafari.
Yo, come catch that one. Come.
Today marks the 154th anniversary of the murder of Paul Bogle, our Right Honorable hero. Ladies and gentlemen, today is history as the Paul Bogle Foundation walked from the roundabout by Goodyear, walking assiduously and tirelessly to congregate in the memory and the life of our hero. Paul Bogle is one of the greatest human beings that was ever born on the planet Earth. Patrick Romance lived all the way in Kingston to make sure that he pays his respect. Every single Jamaican is here to honor. If they're not here in the flesh, they're here in the spirit to honor our hero, Paul Bogle. And the people of St. Thomas, I just want to let you know that I feel your pain, because I know over 8,000 people from St. Thomas was brutally murdered leading up to this day. We feel your pain. We know that 437 of you are buried behind this courthouse there. We hope as Muta Maruka has given me the charge to honor the 437 African St. Thomasian that was murdered as a result of slavery. Muta Maruka, we thank IRFM for their work in bringing this to light. We've seen people from all walks of life. Kaboom, enough love and respect. Muta Maruka, we love you. Thank you for taking off your time and your energy, sir, to come here in the rain for your hero and our hero, the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. We're going to move to the podium where the official ceremony starts. Thank you for the gathering. We just want you to know, as a result of Paul Bogle, the Jamaica Constabulary Force that I was a member of for 5 years was born. The Jamaica Constabulary Force owed a great gratitude. My career as 18 years old owed a gratitude to Mr. Paul Bogle. We go to the stage. True hero. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not ask this senator to come here, but because of his allegiance to honesty, to truth and justice, we have no other than Senator, Member of Parliament, Mr. Damien Crawford. Give him a big round of applause. He come to bring you message on this day. Mr. Crawford, thank you, sir.
Love and honor. Special good afternoon to everybody and respect to the organizers of this activity. I just want to quickly say to you, while you stand here, don't forget why Paul Bogle and others did what they did. And they did it to ensure that their children were better than them. That's the ultimate responsibility of every human being. So that's why when they used to sing, "We shall overcome," they never said tomorrow, next week, or next month. They say we shall overcome at a point we cannot even explain someday. And so therefore, what we are experiencing now is better because of what they did then. And we have to ensure that we do the same, that our children are better than what we are experiencing now. Always know yourself, black people, who you are and what it means. You can only inherit genes, you cannot inherit jobs. And if you're going to inherit genes, then know that we are children of the people who are the strongest minds and the strongest body. anybody who was carried as a slave was physically strong. And anybody who survived slavery was mentally strong. If we inherit anything, we inherit that mind and we inherit that body. So anything that you are going through, you can overcome because you have the genes of the strongest mind and the strongest body. And also biologically, you know that they say opposites attract. So a weak lion is attracted to a strong lioness, and a weak lioness is attracted to a strong lion, naturally. However, during slavery, them used to pair the strong mother with the strong father. So you inherit genes either from the mother or the father. But we have the privilege of having been bred by both parents being strong. So don't give up, don't surrender, and stay committed to making the children better than you. That's the responsibility of all human beings. Respect, and I thank Bogle and the Bogle family and the entire St. Thomas for sticking to one reality. We are all heroes. Blessed and love.
Give Mr. Damien Crawford a massive round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
And those of our ancestors, may their soul rest in peace. We give thanks unto the door of good things unto us. The merciful God, the Fatherful Lord and our God and our Savior, Jesus Christ, for he has succored us and covered us, kept us, brought us nigh, received us unto himself, and that take no defense, strengthened us, and brought us unto this hour. Let us therefore pray that the Almighty Lord our God keep us in this holy day and all the days of our life in all peace.
For the peaceful holy things, we beseech that God may grant us peace through his mercy. For the peaceful holy things, we beseech that God may grant us peace through his mercy. Amen. Hear thy Son, Lord, have mercy upon us.
Let us therefore, we give thanks unto the door of good things unto us, the merciful God. Let us therefore pray him that the Almighty Lord our God keep us in this holy day. Lord God, the Father Almighty, it is thou that healest the wounds of our soul and our body and our spirit.
O God of the spirit and of all flesh, has trampled down death, crushed the power of the devil. Grant life to your world. Do you yourself, O Lord, give rest to those who have died in tragic circumstances, those thrown over sea and the Middle Passage voyage, those who died in the field, those who were thrown and sawn asunder, those sick who was not sent to the hospital but sent to the burial ground. Grant rest, O Lord, to those souls. In a place of light, a place of green pastures, a place of repose, where there's no grief, sorrow or mourning. Forgive every sin which they have committed, in word or in deed or in thought. For you are a good God who loves mankind. For there is no one who lives and does not sin. Only you are without sin. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your word is truth. You are the resurrection, the life and the repose of all thy servants. O Christ our God, unto you we ascribe glory with your beginningless Father and your all holy and good and life-giving Spirit, forever and ever. Amen. Glory to you, O God, our hope. Glory to you. May Christ, our true God, who rose from the dead, has dominion over the living and the dead. As the mortal King, through the intercession of his most pure and holy mother, the only Virgin Mary. Glorious and all praise to the apostles of our holy God-bearing fathers, of his holy and righteous friend Lazarus, who was 4 days in the tomb, and all of the saints, the signs and dwelling place of the righteous, the soul of all the servants who have passed away, depart among us, grant rest in the bosom of Abraham, and number them with the righteous. And may ye also have mercy on us and save us, for his good and merciful God who loves mankind. May your memorial be eternal, our blessed and ever memorable brother and sisters. Through the supplication of our holy fathers, Lord Jesus Christus our God, have mercy upon us and save us.
Amen. The evening prayer of the covenant.
The grace of God be with you
And with thy spirit.
Give thanks unto our God.
It is
Right, it is just.
O immortal Father, save of our souls. Foundation of wisdom, keep up our hearts. Just grant us light in our eyes, and prudence with thy knowledge against the darkness of our mind. Thou didst save the first man was given to destruction by the cross of thy only begotten Son, and didst renew him by immortal things. Iniquities vanished through thy commandment, and thou didst make redemption to the death of thy Son, and this is for the last one. For this reason, we thy servants glorify thee, O Lord.
We glorify thee, O Lord. We praise thee, O Lord, with glorious song. Thou whom the Lord's angels always glorify unceasingly and without rest. And whom the Lord's praise, singing with the praise of glory and thanksgiving. O Lord, thou hast set thy counsel, thy word, thy wisdom, under thy visitation, which was with thee before the world began, without the world being created. That is the Word who was not created, who appeared in the flesh for the salvation of mankind, thy beloved Son, our Lord Jesus, hath set us free from the yoke of sin. For this reason, we thy servants praise thee, O Lord. We praise thee, O Lord.
From our hearts we offer to thee Christ our praise, the Lord give us life. Thou visit the soul of the humble and didst not despise the troubled soul. Thou accept the persecuted and help them. Thou save those in difficulty. Thou thinkest of the hungry and avengest those whom against sin was committed. Thou art the friend of the faithful, speaker to the righteous, dwelling place for the pure. Thou hearest those who call upon thee in righteousness. Protect the widow, savest the orphan. Grant us right leadership to the church and thou made a dwelling place of the glorious faith. The counsel of the Spirit, the gift of grace and power. While we praise thee without rest, we know our hearts, thy kingdom was declared unto us by thee and thy beloved Son, our Lord Jesus, to whom the glory and dominion, both now and ever, and world without end. Amen. The Lord's Prayer, please. Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us and rescue us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. O the Virgin Mary, the peace of the angel Gabriel, peace be unto thee. Thou art virgin in spirit as well as in body. O thou Mother of perfect God, peace be unto thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Rejoice, O thou that art full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Ask and pray for us unto thy beloved Son, our Lord Jesus Christus. May have mercy upon us and forgive us our sins. Amen. As a son of Stony Gods, where Paul Bogle was born, I must say we have three things we want the government to address. One, Paul Bogle is to become a saint. Why? Paul Bogle didn't have to give his life because he had his own land, he had his own church, he could just sit up easy. But he gave his life for the people. Right? So it should be a thing. And when his statue put up, it should put up as a Baptist deacon with his Bible in one hand and his mustard in the other hand, outstretched. Amen. This is how his statue should be built.
Yes.
And this square,
yes,
this square should be named Paul Bogle Square.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
When you come in, you don't say we're going to the old courthouse. We said we're going to Paul Bogle Square.
Yes.
And everything that is happening, we say Paul Bogle Square.
Yes.
We want the relevant authorities to address these things.
Yes. Yes. Give thanks.
So give thanks, my beloved brothers and sisters, for your kind attendance. May God bless you all.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Give the Tawaida Church a big round of applause. Give them a big, massive round of applause.
Blessing, blessing, blessing. When we speak of the Tawaida Church, we speak of Ethiopia, Holy Mount Zion. When we know that Ethiopia has never been conquered, never been subjugated, we know that Ethiopia is the fountainhead of all faculties of thought, including any spiritual, economical revelation. So when we speak of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo, we're not speaking of any other religious groups, any religion from Mystery Babylon. We're not speaking of any other interpretation apart from what came from the black Africans. So we must understand where Ethiopia is. That is why His Imperial Majesty that Rasta declared to be the Almighty, declare himself to be an Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Christian. That is why his name is Haile Selassie, the power of the Holy Trinity. So black people, understand the eight cornerstone that didn't come from no other nation apart from the African consciousness. Amen. And that is what you need to understand. Ethiopia, Upper Kemet, the Upper Nile Valley, the focal peak of the Almighty's kingdom was established here upon earth. And we need to understand and do not get mixed up with religious of Mystery Babylon. Many people keep talking about religion and they do not know what is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a church, a living church. It is not a religion, it is an incarnated reality. Lifestyle. And that's what it is, and if black people cannot understand that, my beloved, this occasion is the first time we've got all African united from culture, all the different religion, because why? Every African suffered injustices, atrocities. So for the very first time, Africa is united. So what will we unite the Rasta man? Well, let I give a message from the Church of His Imperial Majesty. Only the faith of the King can unite Rasta, and that without apology. Merciful One, blessings to you all.
Ras Ocean Speak, give him a big round of applause. Paul Bogle, what a great human being. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hear one or two people burning out and burning out. I just want to remind you, like the Ross said, we have to be careful of what burn out. Because if you talk about Paul Bogle was a Christian. He may not be this kind of Christian, like this kind of Christian church, but the man of a church. Yes. And he was a Christian. If you talk about His Imperial Majesty, you're talking about a man of a Christian background. If we talk about Marcus Garvey was from the Methodist Church. If we talk about George William Garden was what? Baptist and Methodist.
Good evening, everyone. I extend greetings on behalf of the Center for Reparation Research and our director, Professor
Next, what is your name, son?
regrettably unable to attend this monumental event.
You know that you
owing to her absence, the onus has now fallen on me to fill her rather large shoes and deliver this message on behalf of the center. However, before doing so, I ask that we all engage in a moment of silence, 10 seconds or so, for those whose lives were lost unjustly on October 24, 1865. For while we have chosen to celebrate the 24th of October, we cannot overlook its sadness given the murder of our ancestors. We therefore observe a moment of silence as we remember James Williams, John Landron, Dick Hall, John Hall, James Mackenzie, William Winter, Robert Barkley, James Betty, Robert Brown, James Bowie, Stephen Cameron, Williams Chambers, David Douglas, James Gagan, Thomas Holgate, James McLaren, James Morgan, George Thompson, Moses Bogle, and Paul Bogle, murdered on October 24, 1865. Only a fraction of the many lives of our ancestors lost in the Morant Bay War. A moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Silence.
Yes, as I was saying, the life still lost and you must address that too.
150 years ago, on October 11, 1865, our national hero Paul Bogle, along with others, journeyed from Stony Guts to the Morant Bay courthouse to seek justice. He and others recognized that while they had been emancipated on paper, their reality was not one of true emancipation. They suffered from a lack of land to provide livelihoods, landowners who persecuted them in the court system unjustly, and a biased justice system that only sought to serve the interests of the planter class. For we must remember that in St. Thomas in the East, of the 28 court magistrates, 24 were from the planter class. October 11, 1865 was a response to the oppression faced by our ancestors. Paul Bogle and others recognized that they had been dealt an unfair hand, and as a result, they went to seek justice. Justice that was not served when they had previously sought an audience with Governor R. Justice that was not served when black people were unfairly taxed, brought to court, imprisoned and fined for trespassing. So they went in search of justice. Justice at the courthouse, a symbol of the injustice that they had been faced with over the years. Yet the justice that they sought out was not rewarded to them. Instead, they were murdered. Murdered for rebelling against a system that had been made to oppress them. In pursuing justice, unofficial estimates indicate the loss of at least 2,000 to 4,000 lives, including those alongside Bogle, shot or hanged for the pursuit of their rights owed to them. We are called to remember that 1865 was not a solitary event. The injustice that our forefathers worked so hard to fight against started centuries before in 1494. In 1494, Jamaica was introduced to European colonization, the legacies of which we continue to suffer from. This colonization practically wiped out our indigenous people and led to the subjugation, enslavement, and forceful importation of our African ancestors. Even after being granted emancipation, our ancestors were systematically oppressed. They were made to feel inferior because of the color of their skin, and they were denied rights owed to them. we must never forget that after emancipation, it was not those enslaved whose forced labor had enriched the pockets of our colonizers that received compensation. Rather, it was the enslavers in Jamaica who pocketed £20 million for the loss of their property. Not a penny was given to the formerly enslaved, leaving them disadvantaged, without lands or money, and they're being systematically persecuted. Bogle and his army recognized this injustice and sought to fight against it. We as Jamaicans are indebted to them for their fight. For while they did not receive justice then, their fight catapulted the freedoms that we enjoy today. Yet, while we are thankful for their fight, we must remember that even today, the justice that Paul, Bogle and others fought for has not been rewarded. 154 years later, we continue to feel the brutal force of enslavement and colonialism. Even today, we continue to witness the legacies of enslavement and colonialism. In fact, as we stand here now and overlook the Morant Bay port, which is in close proximity, we're reminded of the enslavement of our ancestors and the transatlantic trade in enslaved Africans. For it was there in 1790 that 113 enslaved Africans arrived, unwillingly, aboard the slaver Kitty. After centuries of enslaving our African ancestors, forcefully transporting them to Jamaica, murdering them, physically, emotionally, and mentally abusing them. All for the goal of enrichment. We have never received a cent for the flagrant abuse of human rights. The legacies of this are blatantly clear in our society today. We as a nation are impoverished and alarmingly vulnerable to natural disasters exacerbated by climate change. We suffer from widespread illiteracy. Approximately 70% of blacks in British colonies were functionally illiterate by the time of their independence in the 1960s. And we are plagued by a public health crisis, evidenced by the Caribbean having the highest incidence of the chronic diseases, hypertension and type 2 diabetes, caused by dietary habits introduced to our ancestors because of enslavement.
But still a winner is here to perform on the commemoration day, October 24th, 2019, for the Right Honorable Paul Bogle and the over 500 million Africans who died as a result of slavery. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and help Big Stone welcome Aya Carr! St. Thomas, you have to big up the Paul Bogle Foundation. Big up your smile. Constantine Bogle, big up yourself. President and founder. Well, Amelia Aya Carr represents from a parish. Which part of there? Paul Bogle Square, down. Selector. Drop down there for me now. Celebrate the criminal warrior from GP to Port Maria, not to mention Gunport and Remand Center. Tambin farmer fi first offender. It easy fi reach Montart fi left ya. Can we have to pass through soldier ward and not to mention the big wire fence barrier. Can jailhouse no nice my friend. You must live in the street and get jailhouse no nice my friend. If you no man champion life really, my run be a safe. Enough time me sit down in a jail and a fret. When sentence I run me, I wonder who next. Me check all me 200 pounds, so them wait tell me I get wet. Like me dab on a cigarette. So tell me now how the prisoner them feel. When hungry about and the realm them a squeal. You hear me? And that me gonna come out, you know. Gonna come out to represent Paul Bogle All of the hero them. So here you go on. Drop the truck. Selector. Drop I conquered hero fight. Tell them with him. Fight very hard, them a be fight with the hard and a hard. Hero them fight very hard, so we can enter the yard. Whoa, this a sweet, sweet Jamaica land. I don't know where the 6 hero come from. Tell them with him, I gotta find it. Hold up, kick it off back. I can't come for represent. Yes, this is your pump card. Come for represent. Give me Jamaican hero them. Santana! The heroes fight very hard, them a be fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we hard. We will them fight very hard, them a be fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we hard. Oh, it's a sweet Jamaica land, and the gas is the sea where we come from. Not to mention the hero in one, but you know that when I need come from. You want to know about hard work just for one line and start to boo-boo cause center master that be balance. Alright, so what do they come from? Fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we are. Cause them fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we are. Listen now. Equal rights all of we have it. Who said that no man was have it? I wish one never beg for pardon. The same one chance with them God. God, me a sing a feeling from me heart. To me think about you when they bring some sharp. Punish to me believe me until she see them and them give she go out the one. So them fight very hard. Them have to fight with the hard and the bad. He will them fight very hard. So we can't enter we are. Take them off them. Hold up! I tell him, I say, the time I come as some represent St. Thomas and the whole Bogle Foundation, Constantine Bogle, big up yourself. Kick it back again and turn it to a place and thanks, my general. Yes, it's on your come card. Come to represent. We make Jamaican hear them. Fight very hard, them a be fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter the yard. We will them fight very hard, them a be fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter the yard. Oh, it's a sweet Jamaica land, and that's what this is here come from. Not to mention the area we run, not take more than when they come from. The one who about and who look just for one line and start to move as St. Thomas better for me balance. Alright, just over to come from them. Fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we are. To see them fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. We will them fight very hard, so we can enter we are. Boy, equal rights all of we fear it. Who said that no man was Yavi? I wish one never beg no pardon. This year one shot William God. That when you see me feel it from me heart. Remember about the when you make some sharp. Punish from me go leave me until she see the matter me she go out the monkey. Them fight very hard, them have to fight very hard and the God. Them fight very hard, so we can't win we are. Then come up them fight very hard, them have to fight very hard and the God. Them fight very hard, so we can't win we are. For Bogle, for scarcely, Norman Marley, John and Washington, for Bogle. Oh God, fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. Hero them fight very hard, so we can fight very hard, them have to fight with the hard and the bad. Hero them fight very hard, so we can
that you will ask for. Tell us that the general will well pronounced about the land because of yo car, hot stuff, up on yo, Celestial, Rastafari. Yeah, don't know. So the mayor next, you know.
Yeah, give me a
Mr. Bogle.
On behalf of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, it is my duty to welcome you to the reenactment on the life of Paul Bogle, who died 154 years ago. But what does it take to be a hero? It means stepping across the line and be prepared to make a sacrifice. It means taking selfless risks. Heroes are the ones who find the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Our national hero, Paul Bogle, was a man ahead of his time. He was a visionary. Little did he know, and the people around him know, that what he would have done in 1865 would, to this day, be used as a template for justice. Paul Bogle stands for justice, freedom, equality. That is the life and work of our hero, Paul Bogle. But Paul Bogle could have taken a different path. He was a small farmer, he was a deacon. In those days, in the entire parish, he had about 104 people who could vote. And Paul Bogle was one of those gentlemen. But Paul Bogle saw it differently. And Paul Bogle would not join the Bakamasa. Paul Bogle stands for the small man. Because Paul Bogle saw the injustice that was meted out to the people of this parish and the entire Jamaica. So Paul Bogle, because of Paul Bogle, we are free to be standing here tonight. We are free for the betterment of our nation. And when he was arrested and later on, many of his followers and affiliates were executed. But as we stand here today, we cannot but agree that Paul Bogle's efforts have contributed immensely to the development and recognition of this parish. Because of Bogle, many of us can own land now, can own a house. Yes, because of Bogle, we are free today and have much better opportunities in life. The Mark Day Rebellion resulted in many reforms which made life better for the oppressed black majority in St. Thomas and indeed Jamaica as a whole. Bogle's life teaches us that it's important to care about each other and treat each other with respect. We may not have the ability to pay the ultimate sacrifice as he did with his life, but out of sacrifice comes good. It is important for older folks like myself and the elders and priests among us that it is our duty to impart that knowledge to the younger generation, the school kids, that within all of us, we have a level of heroism amongst us, within us. And when we have choices to make, and we choose to do what is right, that is called a sacrifice. And no other man can claim that right other than Mr. Paul Bogle himself. And as I said before, I must pay my respect to his great-great-great-great-grandson, Constantine Bogle, for the struggle that he has endured to reach this far. He's a man on a mission, and I wish him well. And on behalf of the people and the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, he has my wholehearted support. So I want to thank you. I can feel the spirit of Paul Bogle here. And I want to say to you, St. Thomas is Paul Bogle's place. Thank you.
St. Thomas, it is very important that I acknowledge the support that I get from the mayor, Mr. Michael Yo, to ensure that this event take place. Not just Mr. Yo, but I want to send my thanks to the entire parish council. Mr. Yo, thank you very much, Your Worship, for the support that you give to us to make sure that this event take place. And give my thanks to the CEO and to the people in general and the parish council. Thank you once again, Mr. Yo.
Mutamaruka says we should not just talk about the 10th of October when we have the candlelight vision. We should not just talk about the 11th of October, but we need fundraising events right throughout the year. So we can offer, the Paul Bogle Foundation can offer their support to some of the farmers and some of the people that badly need the help of Paul Bogle. So Paul Bogle fought 154 years ago. We are going to continue. As Mutamaruka said, we must continue the struggle of such a great man. Right about now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have some more entertainment, prophecy, right from out of St. Thomas. As a matter of fact, I've been doing this for many years, since 2012. This brother has never performed on the stage at IMC before. So it is an honor for me to welcome him home to his parish, international recorded superstar, Prophecy!
Holy man, Selassie, how are you doing, Paul Bogle people, my people? Don't Selassie, I squeeze the people go and sing for the people them first, cause I saw you go and keep them, you know, in the musical mind. Revolutionary style, Paul Bogle style, big up the mayor, all protocol observe, my brothers, Rastafari, give thanks. Let's try your life among men, can you understand? Paul Bogle, try your life among men. I said they kill some and they have already killed somewhere with glad to see. Oh yes, I go to public and the church and stay to rise the banner of peace. To all the leaders of the world to exercise justice, yes. Because I don't want to see my innocent people get caught in the street. I still run by honor, they can't find a way to unite my people so they can make it through the day. I swear on thy honor, they can find a way to unite my people so they can make it through the day. Yes, I don't want to see nobody back, nobody back, nobody back. Nobody ever come and get my select. How are you doing, St. Thomas? How are you? Some nice, you know, we have good people shouting jubilance, man. I don't know. Please guys again, come on and hear it. Don't play again. Press the back, sit us. Let's try your life among men. Can you understand? Let's try your life among men. I said there's kings so that we have already killed somewhere with trying to see. Oh yes. St. Thomas focus on a church and stay to us and banner of peace, well. While the leaders of the world exercise justice, yes. Yes, I don't want to see my innocent people get caught in the street. I swear on thy honor, they'll find a way to unite my people so they can make it through the day. I swear on thy honor, they'll find a way to unite my people so they can make it through. Inside the world, see nobody can stop it. Nobody but yeah. No image nothing, why cheat with them total. Inside the world, see nobody can stop it. Nobody but yeah. No image nothing, why cheat with them total. Oftentimes I'm on confidence for night, and they like really use them case. And do this system clear them out oftentimes, let them pull out the fuck out of place. Just imagine shot a clap and do my jump around the back, and those man sign from base. Makes it even hard for I myself to make a decision. See I don't want to see nobody. Nobody but yes. No even nothing watching me the total. Yes, I don't want to see nobody but nobody but yes. No even nothing watching me the. I said I must watch this. When as the sun down, the big guns come to town. Oh God, shadows and footballs can be seen moving all around. Oh yes, they take it like that they have not created. I know this could never be the way. Then all the root was prophecy said to lock their big guns away. I swear on night on, they will find a way. I put up select and we'll have a good time with the people. Well, I must say give thanks and praise again. Good night, people! Rastafari. I want to give thanks to Paul Bogle because you see this unjustified revolution that they think was unjustified done. It is now justified that today we can be here in a greater mass supporting the one cause. It's really real. Let me sit down and hear about that. It's real. See? Now, apart from that, there's a lot of things we can do from what Paul Bogle's left off. And one of the things is revolutionary of the mind. We can revolutionize the mind. See? We can be a more cohesive people, a more disciplined set of people because the unfight they done God, you know. The legislative fight is here. The spiritual fight still continues. See? Big up chips in the crowd. See? Big up yourself. Now, you don't know, so with that kind of spirit, I myself has taken the roles of responsibility in putting together something for St. Thomas through the vibration of Paul Bogle, because Paul Bogle himself would want to say a social upliftment for St. Thomas. I'm more pushing forward for our culture and our heritage scene, just like what the mayor said just now. So we have created something called Regular Jamaica Music Festival, December 26th at the Goodyear Oval, with the aim in view to help our own parish, which is the culture, the heritage, the hospital, and gaining what we need to gain as in machinery to really better set our foundation as in health and what we need, the fundamental base to go forward. See? So right now we don't have more time for waste now. We can't keep still because December 26th around the corner and we have holy patting. You will squeeze off because that's all the things here. That one of them can't keep still people. We have to get assertive. See? You got to talk, but when you better learn. I thank you my people concerned. It's rough the outside. From up to the team. Got to find a solution. Don't keep still. Now the company says that don't keep the deal. No, keep still. Because I'm looking for Babylon and no way. Check out the my yard, there is no spider and no place. I take a look on the poor and afflicted, no food, no in a place. Johnny the youth say me young and talented, a business, them up in the place. And to the pressure we have feeling that blew up we go. So we not keep still, no. We not even got that to fit the business. No, can't keep still. We not stop the little Babylon and team. No, that's fire of a bird. Tears you got to turn, but now you better learn. I said to my people concerned, things will go out the street, gangsta arm up to the street. I hear it out that I'm gonna next track. That's the last CI. Yeah man, when I say the people them feel nice. But when I continue to greet you all in the name of you, good all things possible without mountains and possible. And he was creating mankind in his own image and likeness to have them in on the wild things my people. He when he was alive for life is there. And he was the power when the people rise to be what the breaking of the man and the setting of the sun, man. Most high! Yeah! Well, I have seen what has done for man. Yes, and in return, look what man has done to creation. Well, I said if Jah was just like man, yes, man. Then don't understand what was your own calculation. And I said too little love in this world, mankind. And I said too many war will only complicate the time. Yes, I said too little love in this world, mankind. And I said too many war will only segregate mankind. Don't complain like that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't complain like that you sorry when you fail mankind. And don't complain like that you try, and I cry when you lie. Nobody tell like that you sorry. And we can't sing Sentiments. Celestia. When I see signs of the time is upon man, the prophecy is gonna fulfill on you. And I see some people as the devil's advocate, oh, thinking them reach but them not get there yet. Saint Thomas has said too little love. And I said too many war will only complicate the mind. Yes, I said too little love. And I said too many war will only segregate time. And don't complain like that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't complain like that you sorry when you fail mankind. Nobody tell us that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't complain like that you sorry when you fail. I want to know that you were take it low, take it very low. You don't know it's all about education and entertainment, see? Take it low, Louis. Just bounce it low. Now I said in a world where 1% of the world's population earn 40% of the planet's wealth, something is wrong, St. Thomas. And I said in a world where more than 34,000 kids die every single day because of poverty and preventable disease, something is wrong. And I said in a world where more than 50% of the world's population live on less than $2 per day, something is wrong. Now clearly if we are a part of the problem, we need to be a part of the solution. As you and I are the carriers and donors of our own self-destruction, still we're the conquerors. So may the Most High Jah, the last year, Paul, Bogle, and all those forerunners. Blessed love Empress, Rastafari.
More strength to each and every one. You know, when I heard about this event tonight, I was thinking of my ancestors. And I'm also thinking how powerful it was in that time. If you really sit down and you do all the calculations, you will see that everything was planned to a T. For them to die on that day, to a T. Everything was planned. Now we are all here together, gathered in one harmony, one love, and all that love, we need to vibrate it towards each and every ancestors, each and every one that has died in your family due to the fact that we have all come through slavery. And because you are here now, reaping the benefits, all those great benefits, eating and drinking at free will until we get big and fat. Yes, to that point, I would love for you to know that back then, then we had to eat the scrap off a master bacteria. So guess what? Tonight I want you to hold your candle. Get your candle. 15 minutes. I want us to all come together, one accord, light our candles in 15 minutes from now. So get your candle together, because in that meditation I want you to call all your ancestors. Tell them thank you for all that you have done for us and continue to do.
Rastafari. I give a round of applause to this lovely lady. Well said, well said. Come and go for bonus song again, you know, because trust me, we need this universal oneness, see? So yeah, hear me from the top again, man, and request the last, yeah. So another thing. Kick it off the Euro for me, please. See him, sir? Yeah, man, we give thanks to the moment, and we say Regular Jamaica Music Festival, December 26 again. Tell a friend to tell a friend, it's a word of God's people, and these are the kind of platform we have to use. We have to get together in a more cohesive way in a St. Thomas. We have to stop backbite, and we have to know that petty prejudice and everything have to put aside. Once you see the need to do something for nation building, we have to get involved. So all councillors, all mayors, all MPs, all the common man, make a note right now. Regular Jamaica Music Festival is where we leave December 26th. We are now continue to greet you all in the name of you, made all things possible, without him all things are possible. And he was creating mankind in his own image and likeness, not dominion over all things, my people. He who is life, for life is here. And he was a part of the people that rise to be with the breaking of the morning and the setting of the sun, man. Most High, Rastafari. Well, I have seen what God's done for man. Yes, and in return, look what man has done to creation. But I said each child was just like man, yes man. They don't understand what was your own calculation. St. Thomas has said too little love in this world. And I said too many war will only complicate the time. Yes, I said too little love in this world, mankind. And I said too many war will only separate mankind. And don't come say like that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't come say like that you sorry when you fail mankind. And don't come say like that you try, and I cry when you lie. Nobody tell like that you sorry when you fail mankind. Yes, I see signs of the time is upon man. And while Bogle is gonna fulfill on you. And I see some people lost and devils are broken. Go thinking them rich, but them not get there yet. St. Thomas has said too little love in this world, mankind. And I say too many war will only complicate the mind. Yes, I said too little love in this world, mankind. And I say too many war will only separate mankind. And don't come tell like that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't come tell like that you sorry when you fail mankind. Nobody tell us that you try, and I cry when you lie. And don't come tell like that you sorry when you fail man. Hey, bounce below again the Yuri, bounce below Yuri. Now I again said in a world where 34,000 kids die every single day because of poverty and preventable disease, something's wrong. And in a world where 1% of the world's population earn 40% of the planet's wealth, something is wrong. And in a world where more than 50% of the entire globe population live on less than $2 per day. Now clearly again, if we're all a part of the problem, we need to be a part of the solution. It's you and I know that we're the carriers and donors of our own self-destruction and still we're the conquerors. So may the Most High Jali Selassie, Marcus Garvey, Paul Bogle and all those ancestors protect and guide and I to the nation again. Clap yourself, people, to drive in here. Clap yourself. Clap yourself, that nation. Clap yourself. Be proud of yourself.
Prophecy Isaac! Row and Brown, aka Prophecy Isaac. Give him a big St. Thomas round of applause! Ladies and gentlemen, today we must understand why Sam Sharp says I'd rather die and yet the gallows than give my life to slavery. Without further ado, 21 years ago, a young man by the name of Constantine David Bogle had a vision that came to him in a dream to unite the African race, to make sure that each and every one of us, because reggae music tries to do it and it's not doing it. Rastafari tried to do it but didn't
doing it.
A lot of people tried to do it
and it's not doing it.
Constantine Bogle for 21 long years, for 1999.
He's doing it.
It's doing it.
Yeah.
Before we bring on the giant, a man that calls himself Baba Tunde. Bless the stage. Baba Tunde. Baba Tunde. Baba Tunde. Baba Tunde.
Rastafari, 11 gates of Zion, more than all dwellings of Jacob, glorious things I have spoken of the old city of Ethiopia. And I'll make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know I, behold, for this the entire
With Ethiopia.
with Ethiopia, the honorable Emperor Haile Selassie and Empress Azira.
Last year.
And of thine it shall be said, this and that one was born in the highest shall establish her.
Singers.
Rastafari shall constantly right it up the people, singers and players of instruments shall be there.
All thy springs.
Little black boys and girls, black women, all thy springs are in thee. Alright. So, we're going to talk some things here now. I could do the thing the right and the proper way. Tafari Babatunde is our name. And you're looking at the original. Surely there was a time where a fire forward named Winston Witter. I borrowed the name. The man certain popularity to it, give thanks, we don't sue him. We're not there to talk about it tonight. We're there on a mission. If you feel offended, just look within and don't get the hatred attached to what we're going to say. We're going to burn some fire, we're going to burn some fire hard. We know that anytime there's a gathering, we realize that the males them were forward. It's just one bag of smoking. Watch out now, black males, listen keenly. There's no nutritional value in smoking, whether it is ganja or blind-guard. So let me tell you something now. 150 odd years ago, certain things go on by this honorable virgin named Paul Bogle. So that you and I can stand here now with some semblance of freedom or freeness. And we're not going to make them work, they go in vain. We're there so from 13 past 3. Yeah? But we still give thanks that we could have hold up and deliver a little message. And since we're there from so long, we're not going to talk in a long time. So just listen again. Round this up. Over this up. Alright, yes, sir, around this up. How we come is a candlelight event and most signing on a candle. So watch you now. We are giving them a second. We'll start lighting the candle them now. This don't make no sense if we don't have a candle.
Dash out all we have.
Yeah, mama, light up the candle right there, so. Yeah, see there? And that's what we're talking about. I saw it work. Round here, so one to candle. We can't come to an event for our ancestors and we hear say it's a candlelight. And we show up without candle.
We need to see candle.
And some guy asks, where candle then? Candle sell a shop, you buy it. Because it's a worthy cause, no? We don't turn up to the event and go and like say we expect the organizer to go provide candle. Burn that! So watch you now.
Males, uno first, listen keenly. But they have on locks or you have on none. We in our time here now where we see this honorable brethren make certain sacrifice. Baba Bogle did very wealthy. Plenty riches. But him never selfish with it. So watch you now. Him look around and see same people them not alright. Listen up. Round here so me I talk to Uno too. Black woman, silence. And listen up.
shop 5 miles away. There is a bula shop 5 miles away.
Fire baptism. Yeah, but God Professor was speaking. Yeah.
Dr. McCullough.
General. Give me the yucky God. Give me the yucky God. Give me the yucky God.
President and founder of the Bogle Foundation, as Deputy King, this is 21 years of fire! Take it away! Coming up, 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 Rest on things coming up, Patrick coming up, Fire Baptism 2019, has been what it wanted to be, has been what it is supposed to be, and it is what it will be. Rastafari. We big up and honor the Bogle Foundation for putting on a tremendous gathering that not just see the people of St. Thomas, has not just seen the people of St. Thomas, but has seen the people of the world in Kumasi. As we speak in Kumasi, we are fire. As we speak in South Africa, we are fire. We are the Ruai Shakamuka Menelik, the president of the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party, is here.
He will speak directly after Dr. Clinton attends. Eru is my gender. Eru has taught me well for the last 20 years. My teacher made sure that his students. Eru, I love you so much, man. Eru, I thank you very much for giving me the knowledge so that my wife and my children, my wife and my kids can know that I did not desert them. I came here to work. I came here to serve the people of St. Thomas because you, all of you, have relatives who died. Have relatives who died. All right. Hey, commemoration, commemoration, 2019, the Paul Bogle Foundation, and done it. All right, Mr. Bogle, we're going to close off. Patrick, we're going to close off for right now, and I have 2 more speakers coming on stage. Patrick, you're bigger than life. Angela, you're bigger than life. Check your book. Yeah. We're going to close out this segment now. Close it up. No. We thank the Communal Drummers for coming out tonight to pay David's respect to the great Paul Bogle, to honor. We want to big up Willette Mariam. Willette Mariam, big up yourself anywhere you are. You left all the way from Trelawney and you came to St. Thomas and you pay your respect to the great, the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. Right about now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a message from Professor Clinton Atten. Clinton Atten, ready? Oh, you sir. St. Thomas, I love you so much. I love you from the core of my heart. And when we come out here with you, we come to serve the General, the Field Marshal General, the Right Honorable Paul Bogle. Mr. Bogle, I love you. Wherever you are, I know they hung you today. I know they took your life today. But we here are the cubs of Paul Bogle. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, help big soon welcome Dr. Clinton Atten.
Greetings.
No.
Talk about a few words about current day in 1865. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. 154 years ago today. 154 years ago today. Paul Bogle was executed in this square. In fact, over 400 people were killed in this square during that period. But on the day of the 24th of October, Paul Bogle was executed. In fact, they had a gallows there. In fact, there's a drawing with a gallows done that time of 11 people on it. On the rails of the courthouse, they hung a number of persons. And in fact, there are 3 mass graves. One is behind the courthouse,
And I suspect there are 2 behind the courthouse and 1 is out there. 3 masquerades. Also on that day was Paul Bogle's older brother, Moses Bogle. Also hanged on that day was James McLaren. James McLaren was born after slavery. He was 23 years old. And James McLaren was Paul Bogle's secretary. James McLaren was one of the leaders of the Morant Bay Uprising. Also hung on that day was a man by the name of William Bowie. William Bowie was a very popular man and a captain. In fact, he was second only to Paul Bogle. He was second in the leadership of the Bogle movement. 154 years ago. But there are some lessons that we need to learn. And we're going to learn all of them tonight. In the first place, the Morant Bay Uprising took place 27 years after slavery was abolished. Slavery lasted in Jamaica for 329 years. 329 years, slavery lasted in Jamaica. 329 years of people forced to work without pay. Forced to work without the ability to pass on to their children and their children's children the fruit of their labor. And when slavery was abolished, it didn't mean that the slave-holding class was abolished. They actually were paid for what they call the loss of their stock. Not the people who suffered for 329 years. It was the slaveholders who were paid, who were compensated for the loss of ownership of Africans. And therefore, for the 329 years in which poverty was imposed on black people in Jamaica and in the rest of the English Caribbean, 329 years of poverty. And so it was not surprising, therefore, that part of the politics of Bogle and the people after leading up to 1865, because 1865, the uprising took 27 years after emancipation. They were paid nothing. And therefore, they were just let go. You are now free. Leave our estates. You are free. But guess what? With nothing. Nothing. And therefore, the people felt that freedom was nothing without ownership of the land. They felt freedom was nothing if the people did not have the wherewithal to make their own living. And therefore, what happened is that the colonial ruling classes, the slave-owning classes, did everything to prevent African people in Jamaica from owning the means of production. And therefore, one of the slogans of the Paul Bogle movement was liberty. That liberty is not possible, is not feasible, is not valuable if the people who were held in enslavement did not have the means of producing the fruits to feed their children and their children's children. They also felt that if they did not have their own house, they are not free. So freedom was associated with the ability to make their own living.
Freedom was associated with them being able to turn their own keys. But freedom was also impossible, they argued, if the people were bound down by mental enslavement. So those were three important notions of freedom. One, to be free from the belief in the slave system and the superiority of white people. Two, ownership of home. And three, ownership of the means of making your own living. In 1971, the Wailers did a song written by Bob Marley. And part of the song says, every time I hear the crack of the whip, my blood runs cold. I remember on the slave ship how they brutalized our very soul. Today they say we are free, only to be chained to poverty. Guess what? James McLaren, that 23-year-old leader of the Morant Bay Uprising, made a speech in September 1865 saying the same thing. That slavery made black people poor. When slavery ended, they got nothing. And therefore, they are still in enslavement. Today in Jamaica, most people of African descent are not owners in the economy. What do you own in the economy? Most people of African descent own little in the economy. You're a worker in it, even if you're a manager in it, but you do not own it. And therefore, from the beginning of slavery, for persons to be enslaved, they have to be removed from the ownership of anything. And people own them. And therefore, one of the lessons to learn of today is that the politics of today need to place African people in the ownership of the economy.
That's why
they can't be locked out of the ownership of the economy.
The voting keep them away from
right? That is a lesson we need to learn. That's a lesson we need to learn.
Right.
The other lesson we need to learn is in relation to solidarity, into coming together.
Right.
500 Maroons helped the British to crush the movement. It was a Maroon who took in Moses Bogle. It was a Maroon who took in Paul Bogle. And before that, it was a Maroon, same set of Maroon who captured Sam Sharp in 1832. Right? Maroons are African people. But guess what? In the suppression of Paul Bogle and his people, there were many black soldiers of the 1st West India Regiment. And I'm going to read you what the white leader of that group who ordered black soldiers of the 1st West Indian Regiment all over St. Thomas. One time Manchester was a part of St. Thomas, you know. And much of Portland today was a part of St. Thomas in those days. And this man who commanded many black soldiers, from 1875, they developed the 1st West India Regiment. From 1875. Not from 1775, not 1875, from 1775, 100 years before Morant Bay. They have these soldiers train them, and after 1865, the white officer, the commanding officer of that West India Regiment wrote a book about the history of the 1st West India Regiment. And in part of the book, he wrote about the Morant Bay Uprising because they played a key role in suppressing the people after that. And this is what he wrote about the black soldiers, and I want you to take note of it. This is what he wrote. The fidelity of the black soldiers, loyalty, right? Another word for fidelity. The fidelity of the black soldiers of the 1st West India Regiment could hardly have been put to a more critical test. That is to kill their own. Right? This is what the whites commanding officer is saying. He continued, 9/10, that is every 9 out of 10, 9/10 of these men were Jamaicans, born and bred, and in the work of suppressing the rebellion, they were required to hang, capture, and destroy the inhabitants of not only their countrymen, but friends in many instances. Or their relatives. Yet, in no single case did any man hesitate to obey orders. Was the loyalty of any one soldier ever matter for doubt. They never doubted them. They were able to order black soldiers, not white soldiers, black soldiers to kill their relatives, their families, and their friends. And what this commanding officer, Major Alfred Ellis, what he said is that these people carry out the orders without complaint. What this is telling us, that lesson. So we have the lesson from the Maroons, and we have a lesson from other black soldiers who were not Maroons. Because they gave the Maroons 500 rifles. The governor here distributed 500 rifles to the Maroons in 1865. And they had a feast at Up Park Camp after the war. They had a feast at Up Park Camp, and they killed a cow and feasted the Maroons. But that is one side of the thing. For a job well done. The other side of it is that they have many black soldiers that they trained from 100 years before, generation after generation. The purpose of those black soldiers was to keep black people in enslavement. It's a lesson we need to learn. That's a lesson we need to learn. We can't just go away and just say, boy, the Maroons them screw you. Because fellow black soldiers were doing it. But what is the lesson? They felt, some of them, not all, they felt good and important to do this type of dirty work because they're associated with white power. The association with power can make people do anything. And we see it happen after independence. When houses were built and only one set of people get the houses. And then we have a thing we call garrison, in which in 1980 over 1,000 people were killed. And the lesson, these lessons we need to learn. If we don't learn these lessons, we are going to continue to kill off each other. and therefore remain in the state of underdogs that we were placed by the British. There's a place in Kingston called Bedford Street. William Bedford owned a lot of properties and enslaved Africans in this parish, in Westmoreland, in Hanover, in Kingston. We have a place there called Bedford Street today. William Bedford was given thousands of acres of land, free, and he purchased 4,000 Africans, bought them. Bedford, in the 1660s, when he came to Jamaica to help took away Jamaica from the Spanish, got thousands of acres of land, and he purchased 4,000 Africans. This man was a poor ass in England, the richest, until one of his children married into royalty. The same royalty that is in Britain now. William Bedford became a member, became the mayor of London. And his son took over after he died. He inherited the land, the businesses, the wealth, and the Africans. And then he worked, and he died. And then the other son, when slavery was abolished, the other son, who have never been to Jamaica, inherited the payment that Britain paid out. 20 million pounds the British pay out to the slave owners. Not 1 cent to the enslaved people. The British Parliament assessed that it will take 47 million pounds to pay off the slave owners. They borrowed 20 million pounds and distribute according to how much each person owned. And the other 27 million pounds. There's a period in Jamaica, if you go to school, or even if you don't go, there's a period they call apprenticeship. That period of apprenticeship was for the black people to work without pay from 1834 to 1838. It was supposed to go to 1840 to pay off that $27 million by the freedom. And the 20 million pounds that the British government borrowed to pay off the slave owners. Guess what happened? It is only in 2015, the 100th anniversary of the Morant Bay suppression. It's only in 2015 that the British finished paid off that loan to the bank that they borrowed from 1834. Very true. 2015. It means that Jamaicans who go to Britain to work after World War II, the taxes that them take from them help pay off from a thing from 1834. We need to understand these things. We need to understand these things. So we have a Bedford Street in Kingston. But we don't have a McLaren Street in Morant Bay. The 23-year-old youth, McLaren, leader, knew this place. He went to school here in Morant Bay. He did not believe that the people should buy any land. He believed that the black people should get the land free because they worked for it. And it's for years.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with a revolutionary soldier, a man that believes in Taki should be a national hero, a man that has walked all over Jamaica. Even today, he has walked on his way here to the Paul Bogle commemoration. We have my friend for many years, Black X. His name is Mr. Robinson. But guess what? To the world, for what he has achieved in walking, he's Black X. Black X, give a thanks. Why did you walk here today?
I just come forth and go to
walk today.
To come and this celebration. And it's a great time to turn up. And with them call upon fire. It's the purification of our life as African people in this island here. Where we want to give no compensation. No, it grieves my heart. This is what is taking place. Happy. Last sugar estate in this island is Paris. And that is the Dockland Field Sugar Estate Plantation, where it is now the name capital. No present system. It is our people working at land. Even during the Bogle rebellion in this parish, that estate never stopped work.
Formally.
It is producing the best beer in the eastern part of the island today.
Show solidarity with the
foundation. It looks very bad to know that.
That's why we
the people that is working towards land from after slavery.
And we have to commend them. Black X has been doing this tirelessly. He has walked across Jamaica because he believes that Taki should be our national hero, just like everybody else. Taki. But why Taki? Why do you say Taki for national hero?
let us look at the history. Yes, I'm trying. Let's look at the history. Jamaica is known for three Bogle.
Represented by our true Godfather at the same Bible, Jesus ago, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
And we pay great respect to that.
This is the land of Jacob on the eastern side. We are in the compensation that you, the black people, have worked these properties.
And as
now you are only getting getting
about some of the rituals that was done,
not compensation.
That was done in
the all these children that have become beneficiaries of this property from 1962.
We can understand. We weren't at that mindset at the time. No problem. We are at that mindset.
And I reiterate what Black X is saying. Taki for national hero. Not Bob Marley, not Beanie Man, not all those, but Taki for national hero. I thank you. I love you, my brother. Keep doing the work to show them that work without faith means nothing. Work with action means everything.
We're coming from Waterhouse, Channel 2.
Long time that. Long live the spirit and the memory of Taki.
The president of the UNIA, Marcus Garvey People's Political Party, my friend Eru I. Shakamusa Menelek.
Give thanks and praises. African family, how are you feeling? Rastafari, blessed love. Well, one of the main things we have to understand is that we are one people, we are family. And the system has worked out to divide us in all different kind of categories. And their religion, Christianity, you have so much different denominations. They have divided us. They have divided us educationally. Uptown, downtown, roundtown people. We have to understand unity is strength. The Honorable Marcus Garvey had a motto for the UNIA. And it goes like this: one God, one aim, one destiny. Very simple but very effective. it reminds you that you are one nation of people. One of the wickedest things that they use to divide us today, may I take religion out of the way, politics. Politics is one of the poisons that they have used to create two tribes in Jamaica that you cannot come together in your own political interest. We have to look at the situation, you know, because sometimes you say you're born in this house and your mother and father was PNP, so you have to be PNP. Or your mother and father was JLP and you have to be JLP. Nothing goes so. Just when you go home tonight, think about it and look at the reigning of these two parties from 1944 to now. The quality of life that you are living, the quality of life that you are living is caused by these two. Because they are the principles that make the policy statements and make the laws that govern you in the way you are governed. One of the things where my brethren just talk about, you know, land. In 1927, Marcus Garvey had to say right down in a crossroad at a political meeting, oh, one white man owned 50,000 acre land and 50,000 black man not own the land. Can't write. One man owned 50,000 acre land and 50,000 black people own no land. 1927, but we could come forward to know how much of us are landowners, how much of us are landholders. Well, let me give you some statistics. Jamaica have 753 squatter settlements, and this is government information from the Ministry of Housing. 753 squatter settlements. And out of that, we have 1.8 million homeless people who are squat. 1.8. Jamaica have 2.8 million, make around it off and say 3 million. If 1.8 out of that is squatters, you ever say no, well, everybody else are right? No! If you're paying rent, you're a squatter, same way, you know. If you are paying rent, you're a squatter. Because guess what? The landlord can give you notice anytime and say, listen, I want my place. It happened to the manager for Jamaica West Indies team. It happened to him. Live at Avondale, uptown, and feel good. And the owner for the house come and say, listen, I'll give you 1 month and I want the place. And in 1 month him never move. And him get the notice. And the man just go down to the court and get a court order. And the court bailiff just go up there and take him out of the house and put him on the sidewalk. That was the first him realized that boy, him is a homeless man. Well, the rent statistics tell you say 400,000 Jamaican are pay rent. So add the 400,000 on the 1.8. You get 2.2 million squatters in Jamaica. How much left? So make we look on the 3 million and see how much left. I love how the man fast on the mathematics. Because we must do good in school. Make sure we make the youth them go to school. Because that will free you up. Education is a key. Now when you look at the one that will leave now, you know, them there is the intergenerational families where own land from long time. That figure will leave now. None of we know it. You have a man to go be in Trace Film Heritage from 1834. Him own 50,000 acre land. You have another family around in St. Catherine, 40,000 acre land. And right around you find it is these people who inherit land intergenerationally from the days of enslavement. Wake up, my brother and my sister. Wake up. Can't make the politics fool with no more. I represent the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party, the first political party that was founded in Jamaica, the Honorable Marcus Garvey. And we have to rise up, because all the promises that you have been getting by these politicians, none of it manifest. And then when I say about promise, a promise is a comfort to a fool. So Marcus Garvey says self-reliance. So we are going to do the self-reliance. We're glad to let them free up the weed now, because you know the weed is mega bucks. We have to understand that we can't make them know how to grow it. None of them get license already, but them don't know how to grow the weed. So them are going to come to I and I to show them how to grow it. You understand? So this is where we say, family. We are going to lift up our family now, because the time has come when black people must take them rightful place. Jamaica have 99% black people, you know. 99%. So the little 1% was shared up between the Indian and the Chinese and the white and the rest of them. Them control 99% of the wealth of the country. And that 1%, you know. And then the 99% of black people are control 1%. You understand? So I have a round half now, you know. But I want to remind you, say, unity is strength. Remember your brother. Paul Bogle say what? Skin for skin, color for color. One God, one aim, one destiny. Aye.
Eru Aishaka Musa Menelik. Give him a big round of applause. We also have here Dr. Michael Barnett. Dr. Barnett, you cannot come all the way to St. Thomas without gracing the stage, sir. A professor at the University of the West Indies, Dr. Michael Barnett. Dr. Barnett.
All right. Yes, Blackstone. Greetings, everybody, and we give thanks for this celebration, well, I should say celebration, commemoration of the Stone. You know, one of our heroes, my colleague, Professor Clinton Hutton, said 154 years ago, our hero, Paul Bogle, sadly, was hanged. But he died nobly because he was fighting for his fellow black people. He was fighting for African people. And for that we can be proud, and we must continue to fight to emancipate ourselves, because the truth is we are not yet free. We may be, them say we're physically free, but a lot of us are not mentally free, you know. So as Marcus Garvey was said, you know, please, we must free our minds, you know, from the shackles of mental slavery. One of the things, though, my colleague, Professor Clinton Hutton said, which is very notable, and we have to be very conscious about this, is the lack of Pan-African unity. And this was expressed in the case of the Maroons, who were the ones who brought not only Moses Bogle to the British, but also Paul Bogle. And unfortunately this happened after a tea party which he had with a Colonel Sterling. And Paul Bogle left that tea party feeling that he had come to an agreement, an arrangement where there would be unity between him and the Maroons. He left feeling happy, or I should say, he left feeling comfortable that there was a unity, color for color, skin for skin, was his mantra. Unfortunately, the very next morning, them send out the Maroons to grab him, because they knew where he was staying. Chop him up with a machete and take him into the British. That is betrayal.
betrayal in the worst way. And we must not repeat that kind of history. Many occasions we have had betrayal. As Professor Clinton Hunton said, Sam Sharp himself was brought to the British by the Maroons. Taki was killed by whom? The Maroons. So while the Maroons, we can celebrate that spirit of resistance, there was also a situation of betrayal. And my brothers and sisters, this is what we must overcome if we are to really build ourselves up to that mighty, mighty race and accomplish what we can, as Honorable Marcus Garvey would say. It is our lack of unity that is holding us back. Our lack of unity. And unfortunately, other peoples recognize and then recognize that weakness. Right? We wouldn't have this situation in Africa right now where it's being colonized by Europeans and other peoples. I even put it to you, Chinese them are colonizing the continent in a subtle way. But all of that cannot happen if there is unity. So for these few, I just want to put that forward to the item that we still need to aspire to achieve a unity, as much unity as possible. Because the Chinese themselves, are superpower. Why are they a superpower now? Because of unity. Every major city on the planet you go to, there's a Chinatown, right?
How are we gonna get unity? I don't have any love.
Well, we have to work on that, my brother. We have to work on it. So, anyway, we give thanks. Enough respect. Yes, Blackstone, every time. Bless.
His name is Derek Robinson, but he's known right across the world as the Black X. I met him many years ago, almost 20-something years ago, in Waterhouse as an artist. But then he has become an activist for our struggle, for Taki's struggle. Make way for the man that has walked Jamaica many times. My friend, none other than Mr. Robinson, or Black X.
Thank you very much. As you know, I'm kind of a little bit hoarse, so I'll just keep it very brief. It is simple. Find a cause, find a role, and see it through. We have only for example, Paul Bogle, Marcus Garvey, Taki. Find a cause, find a role, and play a role to the end. Jobless.
Simple, Black X. Big him up, find a cause, play your role, and show your purpose. My brother, this brother here is a revolutionary of revolutionary in the 20th century. He'd make known who he is by the poem that he reads.
Greetings, St. Thomas. It's Omar Ryan, you know? Yeah, Rhymestone, big up yourself. You know, me and you get locked up almost 2 years ago for the parish, you know? And some people go on like, they don't remember that, you know? That's why we roll out again and turn over Jamaica this time and not St. Thomas. Because enough time we are roll through and people are saying, youth, at the country we want to get locked down because people are suffer too much. And we're not going to really talk much about the separation, but we are feel it. And the change always start from here, St. Thomas. And it really look like again, like the serious change and the revolutionary movement. A year or so, we have got channel it from again. So not just Jamaica, but the Caribbean and the entire black world. 3 years ago, 2016, Tao, my virgin from South Africa, came to Jamaica. You know what Tao told me? That the entire black world is waiting on St. Thomas to rise again. Not just Jamaica, the entire black world. Because this is where Rastafari and black consciousness in the 20th century started. I need to know that. Alright, I am a writer and a poet, and I wrote this poem as I would say, as a thing to just remember and hold firm as to who we are as black people. It's called I Am. I am mission, ambition, desire, love, and confidence. I am my ancestors' vision, strong, bold, outspoken and loud when necessary. Yes, I am rock solid man from the plantation, now the gully, the ghetto, bowels of society. St. Thomas, the forgotten parish, Rastafari from Church Corner, Port Morant, Trinityville, Springfield, Bamber River, Doing the Pen, Pipe Road, White Horses, who will never give up. I am the possible, impossible, the dirt turned into rock. I am the climax of Africans crossing the Atlantic, the slave master's worst nightmare, the offspring of mama and papa's unplanned sex. Whipped till I feel beating no more, killed till I can't be killed no more, hated till I can't be hated no more, been so poor till we can't be poor no more. I am only living because I've died a million deaths, taken a million intoxicated breaths. I am Africa, not just Jamaica. I am loud beating Kumina drums, not just reggae guitar strums. Your past, present and future. Gold mine they never knew existed. Water that quenched thirst they never knew existed. From the earth, this diamond can never be evicted. Give thanks.
Give him a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the close of what we say is the 21st anniversary of the Paul Bogle Foundation and the commemoration of 500 million Africans who suffered as a part of slavery and apartheid. We thank all of you, Dr. Clinton Uttle, Dr. Vereen Shepherd, Gabriel Emmons, Paul Bogle Foundation, Dr. Michael Yu, Dr. Barnett, Michael Yu, Mayor of St. Thomas, we thank you. And we thank this Jamaica Constabulary Force for coming out, and we thank you, the people. Paul Bogle is my hero. I wear him proudly on my chest, so does Patrick, Kwame, Romance. And we love this great hero because he gave of his life for us. We thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming out. Mr. Sound System, look at the music, take it away. Long live the memory of Paul Bogle. Black power!
Not say 20 years ago, we planted weed at Roselle and buy one nice piece of land at Roselle, so nobody can tell me. So something with me not understand.
Living on with me well.
476 8155
476 81
Not here.
5555.
Yeah, man,
Let's set up. Come on, I'm going around.
Why you know, man?
So it's 894. No, you're not at all. What's the other straight around?
8947. I don't want to go to the division. We got to teach our people what it's all about. You are missing kids to be stupid.
Here in St.
That's what we do one another. That same thing they help keep us. No,
you know that I'm not a